Hits for the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Coast, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Brett Segura, out here in Monterey County, also known to the world as the Salad Bowl, also known as the Salinas Valley. To the people in LA, we are north. To the people in San Francisco, we are south. Right smack in the middle, best of both worlds. Don't forget about the Central Cali. Anyway, folks, today we are going to talk about what happened with the performances at the World Series, right, in 2024. Before we get started, guys, disclaimer. I apologize for the noise. Hammering and saws and so on and so forth. I'm adding another 7 rooms to my 26-room mansion and 6 other bathrooms as well. So you'll be hearing that stuff going on. Anyways, there's construction going on next door. Sorry about that. But anyways, what happened with the performances between Ice Cube and that was rooting for the Dodgers, and being from California, and Fat Joe being from New York. That's representing the Yankees in a sense, right? So. You know what, disclaimer, guys, this is an unbiased opinion. Go Dodgers, baby, all day. Been a Dodger, stayed a Dodger. but check this out. My first attendance to a game was in 1980 at Dodger Stadium, my first baseball game, so I've been a Dodger. Yeah. Dodger Blue, I stay. So anyhow, guys, but this is an unbiased opinion. This is just strictly looking at what's going on. Being that here at Two Face Entertainment, this is as I stated before, excuse me, as I stated before, this is a independent record label that I started in 1999. However, one of my biggest inspirations ever into the rap music is and continues to be Ice Cube. I mean, really, that was just the whole thing for me, And I have others as well. Yeah, definitely. Of course, there's others, but Ice Cube was the biggest inspiration, was the first inspiration. With all his hits and stuff like that, and I had the honor. And I had the true honor to to see him perform live, excuse me, in his prime. And that's not taking anything away from the man. I'm just saying I had the honor to see him in the 90s. Plenty of times. We saw him plenty of times. Both groups of friends of mine and we got to see him plenty of times. I got to see him in this new millennium as well, a few times. One of the last times was with my nephew and his fiance at the time, and his sister-in-law. That was a true honor because he basically grew up with me. I raised him, and he grew up knowing. So it was a great thing to have him grown man already, and we got to see it. Got to see Ice Cube. We saw a slew of artists that night. All of the death row people, in a sense, But anyway, I digress. But one thing about Ice Cube is that he's never disappointed. He's always been a great performer. I've seen him. You know, um, he's always been a great performer. He's a guy who you can see carries himself well. He's well prepared, well rehearsed. You know, he loves what he does. Um, and again, he has never disappointed. He's gone on to do stuff. Of course, everybody knows the story from NWA and so on and so forth. The film Straight Outta Compton. Um, yes, I did take my children to see that movie. Again, because this is who Fred is in the back. Deep down inside, this is where I stem from with the music stuff. But anyhow, excuse me. So, yeah, man. He's always been a great artist. This is what you call a true artist, a true rap artist, who's gone from music into film and so on and so forth, which is what you're supposed to do and stay alive and in the business and no more outlets than just rap. Because we got to turn to other avenues in a sense. And I say we as rap artists, whether you're famous or underground, whatever way, you got to find a new outlet. Hence, Two Face Entertainment Podcast. Hey, shameless plug, right? But anyhow, so yeah, that's the situation there. Moving on to Fat Joe. Who has came from a long background as well. Yes, I had the single, the cassette single of "You Gotta Flow Joe, You Gotta Flow Joe, You gotta go." This is way before. I think he was like 16, 17 years old at that time. Went on to do Terror Squad and brought us the infamous Big Pun, God rest his soul, Christopher Reeves. So on and so forth. It's had hits with Ja Rule, Ashanti. Gone on to do numerous features and so on and so forth. As far as the music wise, he's done his thing. I've never got to see him perform live. I will say one thing though. When I did my record with Yuckmouth of the Loonies, I got 500 fame. He wanted to kick it, man. Yuckmouth wanted to kick it, and he's like, man. He goes, but man, I gotta get going, man. I gotta catch my flight. I'm going to Hawaii. This is in 2002. And he's like, man, I'm going to do a show with Fat Joe and Ashanti in Hawaii. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Well, yada yada, whatever. We spoke about that. But anyhow, that's probably the closest I got to Fat Joe ever. But anyhow, on to his performance this past week at the World Series game in New York. That was, for lack of a better word, and you know what, guys, this is very unbiased. I'm speaking from a neutral ground. That was terrible, horrible performance. It was just bad. The sound, his vibe, overall vibe, his track that he had with his backup vocals on it, his just overall everything, just kind of like it was just a disaster. And I'm really sorry to say that, but that's how bad it was. I'm speaking beyond that because I'm saying that much because this is viewed not just by rap fans. This is viewed by sports fans, Dodger fans, Yankee fans, or just sports fans in general who probably aren't into rap, and this just gives it another black eye to them, you know. My thoughts on that situation. It just seems like, for one, it was rushed. That's one. Number two is they didn't take the time to lower the background vocals on the music track. They were way too loud. And the number one thing was, it's pretty evident Fat Joe did not go and do a sound check, which is a very, very, very important thing to any recording artist when you're about to perform live. Go do a sound check at the place that you're going to perform at. You are supposed to be there early that day, whatever, to do a sound check. The other thing too, though, is like, again, this is just strictly in my opinion, he was non-rehearsed. You know, non-rehearsed. He started late. You know, I understand that the backup vocals were just supposed to back him up, and he was supposed to be doing the backup, which is supposed to come in on time. You know, he was off right from the very beginning. He was off, and it's just like he didn't know his lyrics. It seemed like he just didn't. You know, he didn't take any pride into that, man. And you know, and I'm not trying to knock the man. I mean, I'm not trying to knock him in that sense. I'm just saying that's just what it clearly was, at least in my opinion. He could have took a little more time, rehearsed, again, dropped the backup vocals a little bit more, really rehearsed that track that he had, the two tracks, which was Lean Back and All the Way Up, which is two tracks. One, Lean Back, that he had with Terror Squad, and All the Way Up, and he had on his latest, or his last album before this new one coming, Family Ties, was produced by Cool and Dre. He just, God, that's just a sore eye for, you know, if we were in the middle of East Coast, West Coast, like in the 90s, this would have been, yeah, it would have just been, it would have been not a good look, man. And it's still not a good look in a sense, being that he's representing not only the 90s, I mean the Yankees, but he's also representing New York. And it just seemed to me, again, in my humble opinion, like he figured, like, hey man, I'm Fat Joe, I'm gonna show up, they love me, and man, I'm just gonna go out there and, you know, I'll do whatever real quick, and then that's it. Easy cash grab, if you will. Or I don't know if he did it for free. But it's pretty evident he didn't take the time to rehearse, you know, or and care enough to do a sound check, which is bad from a fan's standpoint. Had somebody paid to see that performance, it's not a good look, man. You gotta be up on you gotta bring your A game, you know. Especially now, guys, I think, in my opinion, is because there's so much new rap coming out. Excuse me. And a lot of people can say, oh man, the new rap, oh, we need the 90s back. And then stuff like this happens. See, this is like, oh, well, you know what? See, these guys are washed up already. They're old and they can't perform anymore. And this and that. It's not about that. I mean, not in all cases, but in this situation at least, is he should have taken his time, man. He should have really taken his time, dropped the backup vocals, or you know what? Say, hey, you know what? Excuse me. I don't need backup vocals. Let's just do it raw. Let's go. You know. And he could have just, I mean, he could have been off for that matter, but just the backup vocals made him sound off. And you could see he's like, yeah. You could see in his face, he was like, kind of like, he was trying to catch up all the way through, no pun intended. And he just never did. And people were, you know, I saw the people on the side, you know, some people were trying to get into it, trying to look too hard. And I think that those people that have seen it, that see it different, and say, no, it was good, and this is New York, and you're seeing it with the emotion. You're not seeing it with your eyes. There's a difference between that, guys. So, on this one, man, I you know, again, pretty evident. You already knew this coming in. Ice Cube, hands down. West Side? No, not for real. I'm just kidding. Anyways, no, not like that. No disrespect to New York, man. Much in love to them, but at the end of the day, you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. It's pretty evident. Ice Cube knocked it out. And Fat Joe, I mean, for a man of his caliber, of his experience in being in the limelight, I hope this was a humbling experience for him to take a little bit more time and get out of yourself a little bit, and don't bank on your name alone. You gotta give, you know, because you are who you are. You gotta perform as such. I stated before, to me the best song for that, and I think it would have been an epic performance, would have been Jay-Z featuring Alicia Keys, Empire State of Mind. That song is, you know, obviously New York, you know, that would have been so great. Unfortunately, due to the current situations in the world of hip-hop with a lot of artists, Jay-Z was not able to, or not wanting to perform, I guess. And I think Fat Joe should have been arrested after that performance. No, I'm kidding. But anyhow, no, guys. You know what? Shout out to both Fat Joe and Ice Cube, man. I mean, things are what they are. Unfortunately, it was just a bad performance. Bad performance. But we move forward, guys. We move forward with this at this current time at the recording of this podcast. The World Series is still going on. Unbiased about the performance, you know, but as a fan, go Dodgers, baby. With that, this is Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura, signing out.
Hey,
to shake the fist, suckers pitching me rolling. Why you so mad? Why you so serious? Shit in my rear view like the slow and delirious. Keep on mashing, getting plenty action. The home of the G's and pimps, I love it with a passion. Throw it up, it's California, where the sun lays to rest like every day. The home of the color rack, swap meets and bangers. Chuck Taylor's Lolos and them real dope slangers. This is reality, it's where I stay. Along the Pacific in the state of CA. Golden State, from Frisco to Compton and back to Central Cali where the party keeps rocking. It's a California state of mind, and you can't be mad, that's just how we ride. Golden State.
But it's really for me. I'm not saying that I'm greedy, but hip-hop is needy, so what the hell do you expect from me? It's the passion, I finally understand it. I'm hiding in the trees like a male praying mantis, searching for my prey. God, please come and bless me, help relieve my stress so I don't worry about death. Never said I was leaving, but dreaming on like Steven. Fallen angel, I'm Zeppelin, not ready for heaven. So please tell me, is there another way? So I can look up in the sky and say thank you for these better days.
1, 2, Vegas coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your doors. 5, 6, hip hop with a twist. 7, 8, please don't hate. 1, 2, Vegas coming.